What's good, y'all? It's the one and only King Cow 516 live in the mix, and this is the Swish Flames podcast. So Stephen Curry, Chef Curry with the shot, makes history last night at Madison Square Garden, and we're going to get into that. But before we do, please be sure to check out the website www.swishflames.com. It is up on Twitter at Swish Flames, and definitely check out the Facebook, YouTube page at Swish Flames Podcast. Definitely appreciate ahead of time of you guys hitting the like and the subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Swish Flames Podcast. So if you were to tell me if I was a professional NBA player and I was able to pick any place to play to break a record in, there's no place like Madison Square Garden. Hands down, there is no place like Madison Square Garden to make NBA history. There's an appreciation of greatness at the Garden. That appreciation doesn't always mean they will cheer you on. Sometimes that appreciation is shown in the ultimate booing, right? We've seen greats like the Reggie Miller, who was considered a Knick killer, right? We've seen the likes of Michael Jordan light it up in the brightest of lights. We've seen some of the greatest players in the world go off in the Garden. And there's just something about that atmosphere. There's just something electrifying about it. The Garden is rocking. Listen, there's a reason why, just even from a marketing standpoint, the Knicks can't get rid of Madison Square Garden. They gotta just stay there. There's too much history. It's too historic. It's too electrifying. I truly believe this. If the Knicks were somehow able to get another location in the city, have it built in a new arena, even though it's the same people, I don't think you could ever recapture what the Garden is by rebuilding it. This is why the Knicks ownership have spent so much money in revamping the Garden, in remodeling the Garden. They spent so much money because Madison Square Garden is a gold mine in of itself just because of its popularity. You cannot replace it. There've been some other teams that have tore down some of their historic sites. And there's a few of these classic teams that have kept their historic sites. You know what I mean? In most cases, teams do it because of money, right? Because the more you update your arena, the more you make it up to date, you can take advantages of things you have today to help teams make more money that in old arenas just doesn't have it, right? And so teams don't want to be capped financially, right? You want to make as much money because that's a part of having a successful organization. New York Knicks ownership has always been smart about the Garden. They realize the Garden is the moneymaker, right? So if you're a fan of basketball, especially basketball, and you're watching an NBA game in the Garden, there's nothing like it. That New York City crowd and how electrifying that arena is amazing. So we get into Steph Curry, who last night, towards the end of the first quarter, becomes the all-time leader in three-pointers made at the still prime age of 33. Steph Curry has a lot of years left. Steph Curry, a man who's reinvented and definitely opened basketball and taken it to new heights with how good he was with the three-point shot, how far distance he could shoot that three-point shot. He totally changed the game of basketball. You look at now how guys are taking so many shots in the game from the three-point line. The NBA, the game wasn't always like that. Steph Curry, who can be considered the ultimate floor spacer, changed this whole game of basketball. Some say for the better. Some might disagree and think there's too many three-pointers being taken, but nevertheless, if Steph Curry stayed healthy enough, there was never a doubt that at the rate he was shooting the three and at the percentage he was hitting the three, and eventually at this record would be his. And at the ripe age of 33, Steph Curry passes Ray Allen to become the all-time leader in the NBA in three-pointers made towards the end of that first quarter. He shoots a three-pointer real quick. We know how deadly and how fast his release can be. He was able to get that shot over Alec Burks, and he hit it, and the Garden went berserk. If there's one player that the New York crowd loves, they love him some Steph Curry. There's a lot of Warriors fans that attend those games, which these Warrior fans weren't there like 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? These Warriors fans have grown since Steph Curry and the Splash Brothers, Klay Thompson, those guys, started winning and becoming popular. But it's one of those games where, they're cheering for both sides, right? But they're really cheering on the Warriors side. They're really cheering for Steph Curry. And when he hit that three, the crowd went bananas. It was an amazing moment. Ray Allen, who was the previous holder of that record, was in attendance. Him and Steph Curry, shine of respect. Ray Allen, Steph Curry had a quick hug. Much respect to Ray Allen. He was another guy just to marvel at from three-point range. I just felt that the dynamic of Ray Allen being there, the fact that Reggie Miller was commentating, another guy who used to hold a record, right, before Ray Allen broke it. It was just a great night. Steph's parents, Del Curry, who was a sharpshooter, was in attendance. So it was a marvelous night for Steph Curry. And we definitely are in awe of Steph Curry so far in his career, how he's changed the game and what he means to the game of basketball, because of Steph Curry, there's some young guys growing up who may not have the same kind of size as Kevin Durant, who may not have the same size as a LeBron James. Steph Curry, who to me is tall, he's 6'3". I'm about the same height as Steph Curry. He's about an inch taller than me, right? So when you see these guys like Steph Curry or Chris Paul, who are, on the 6 foot end or 6'3" side, I say anybody 6'3" and lower, you see guys like this and how they found ways to be effective in the game to put them over on top. Chris Paul, to me, it's his IQ, it's how smart he is, how well he knows how to position himself with angles, how well he sees the floor for being the guy that's short, how smart he is to understand how to put his teammates in position to win. Steph Curry, how clever he is coming off those screens, how fast his release is, the range of his shot. These are qualities that these guys and skills that these guys develop over the course of their careers to help put them over the top, to be successful in the big man's game, right? And so you gotta show love, you gotta show support to a guy like this breaking a record like this. And definitely, once again, we want to just send a congratulations to Steph Curry. Let me know what you guys think about this moment of Steph Curry breaking this record. Hit me up in the comments. It's your boy King Cal 516. We are signing off. This has been the Swiss Flame Podcast, y'all.